The dreaded Tampo. How to deal with it effectively. Now, Tampo, or magtampo in full, not Tampo, but Tampo. If you are in an Australian Filipino relationship, you soon learn the meaning of Tampo. This is the great sulk. Being in a huff, it's a source of confusion and misery to many an unprepared Australian man. So, what is a Tampo? Now, I state right at the beginning, I detest the Filipino Tampo. I really do. Fortunately, after many years of being a great husband and teaching by example my Filipino wife the benefits of free and open communication, it rarely rears its ugly head these days, though I did just have to deal with a bad outburst from one of our extended family over the last few days, so it's not ancient history for me. I also live in the Philippines full time, so it's never that far away. So what exactly is a tampo to the uninitiated? Now, it's a way of not dealing with a problem and of ensuring that whatever the problem is, that it will never go away. It's the human interaction version of sweeping dirt under the carpet. The dirt remains and the lump in the carpet just gets bigger and bigger and people trip over it. It's not the Filipino way to deal with problems and issues directly, as you've probably worked out from your experience. It's not usual for someone to react to something they don't like, and it's less likely they will speak up and say, "Hey, I don't like that. Please stop doing it. It makes me feel bad, so please stop." This is in fact the negative side of those perpetual Filipino smiles. Yes, definitely, Filipinos are generally happy and easygoing and pretty tolerant of imperfections and faults in others. That's a fact. However, they are also human beings, and no one is that happy all the time. So please read my previous article on onion skin, being thin-skinned. That is a Filipino characteristic. Please read, and please click on the link and study up if you haven't read it already. And fellas, please be aware that on certain times of the month where skins are extra thin and tempers may be on edge because of hormones, this is often a time to be especially careful not to push boundaries and to basically watch your tongue. So what happens is the pressure of unfixed problems build up and lead to an explosion, as they tend to do. However, it's not a practical explosion. If it was an explosion of, "Hey, you keep making fun of me in front of the neighbours and it hurts my feelings, I want you to stop," or some equivalent, then it might even help. It might make the person see what they're doing and maybe things will get better by confronting it. But that's not how a tampo works. It's never so practical and it's never helpful at all. Now, tampo was characterised by appallingly bad communication. The Filipino having a tampo does some or all of these things. Take note. Won't talk. Definitely won't tell you what the problem is, as you should already know. May utter a few unhelpful phrases, but that's about it. Resists all attempts to fix the problem. Will appear perfectly normal to others if, say, answering the phone or greeting someone at the door, but will soon return to the tampo instantly when dealing with you. It may run off somewhere, possibly even for several days. Tends to bang cupboard doors, slam things around. Now may do a great deal of furious cleaning, or may just instead retreat to the bedroom, sometimes for days. Now this will remain until she gets over it. Now she may apologise, she may not. But she definitely will not discuss it, and attempts to say, "Let's talk about it," they may even trigger a recurrence. So how to deal with a tampo, which is what I'm sure you're all waiting to hear. How do you deal with a tampo when it happens? Now, to be honest, there's not a whole lot you can do when she is in mid-tampo. At this point, all logic is switched off, and if you push too hard, you will probably make it worse. She may storm off in the middle of the night and put herself in danger, dragging suitcases down the road and attempting to walk to the airport to fly back to the Philippines at 2 a.m. in the middle of winter. these things have been known to happen. May also end up saying things that might be hard to take back later. So think carefully before you attempt a proactive intervention at this point. So most of the time you will just need to weather the storm and try not to make it worse. I'm not saying to ignore it, not at all. I'm just saying to delay until a more effective time. Now, should you do malumbing, you will hear the word malumbing or lambing, not lambing. We're not talking about, breeding sheep here. Lambing. Basically it means sucking up. Being extraordinarily sweet and attentive, flowers, lots of smiles and lots of I love yous and what have you. This is the usual advice given, and many a Filipino expects this. She has a tampo and she expects you to behave like this. And my belief, never do this. Never suck up. And never apologise for something you don't even understand. Now this is just reinforcing and in fact rewarding some very negative and very destructive behaviour. Now tampo is not the behaviour of an adult who is committed to her marriage. It's a spoilt child behaviour and it shouldn't be tolerated, let alone rewarded or encouraged in any way. Now unless you did something where you really should have known better, in other words, like if she's having a tampo because you cheated on her or acted like a complete pig, then you deserve this and it's you deserve exactly what's happened. But otherwise, no. So yes, thinking about it, if she's having a tampo because you did something, if you did something really bad, then sure, do all the malumbing you can, and most importantly, apologise sincerely and try not to do it again, but not because you failed your mind reading class at school. But otherwise, what should you actually do? Now, you should talk about this when she's calmed down and possibly a few days have passed. Now, you should let her know that you are sorry she felt that way, but confirm that you had no idea that anything that you did or anybody else did was causing her hurt. Don't say, I'm sorry, it's all my fault, when you know it really wasn't. Be honest, be an adult. As I said before, you don't have to suck up. And tell her that, had she simply explained it to you when it first happened, the first or the second time when the problem occurred, you would have stopped it, or you would have done whatever was in your power to stop it. You let her know that you do care. You absolutely do care, and that it would have been a better way of handling it. And help her to understand that while it may have been her way before, this is no way for a committed married couple to behave. Either the tampo is stopped or the marriage is basically doomed. Now, they are cruel, hurtful and very destructive things, and they've got no place in a decent marriage. Now, you should encourage her to tell you what she thinks and feels about things on a daily basis. If she keeps saying, no, really, I'm fine, then you should push a bit harder. Let her know that you do actually want to know what's going on because you care about her. Let her see that telling you is actually easy and that it leads to positive outcomes. For example, that nice feeling that comes from realising somebody actually gets you. Plus seeing some problems and concerns actually get fixed. And when that happens, you point that out. You say, okay, you told me about that. Where's the problem now? It's gone, fixed. So next time, please tell me. And make sure you do the same thing. Make sure you do also tell her about your own feelings, the good and the bad things. Don't you keep things from her. Just get a proper open communication happening between the two of you. Make that your way. So, take the time to talk at the end of every day and develop some positive habits. And hopefully the problems will get nipped in the bud rather than building up and being a source of misery. And work hard to make this thing a thing of the past, or you may well see the love slip away. Thank you. This video was brought to you by Down Under Visa, who specialise in visas for Australian Filipina couples. Please visit our website and complete a free visa assessment form, and please watch some of our other videos. Thank you.